The Audi Q8 60 TFSI has had a midlife upgrade, which sees minor changes to its design, features, and technology. My family and I have been testing out this large plug-in hybrid SUV this week to figure out whether or not those changes make this worth a look. There are 3 grades for the Q8 before you hop into the flagship SQ Performance model, and the variant on test for this review sits second from the top. With the midlife refresh, it does see a price hike across the entire range, and that adds $1,700 to the before on-road cost for the model beside me. Compared to its plug-in hybrid rivals, the BMW X5, X-Drive 50e and the Volvo XC90 Recharge Ultra T8, this does slide in as the most expensive. It doesn't help that our test model has been fitted with a few optional extras like 22-inch alloys, metallic paint and a luxury seat package, which does add $9,900 to the overall price. So is this Q8 good value? Well, value is relative, but it is hard to ignore that this PHEV is $10,000 more expensive than its internal combustion siblings. The 10.1-inch touchscreen multimedia system remains, but the layout and apps have changed for 2025. The update also sees bigger engine outputs as well as extra 27 kilometers for pure EV driving range. This grade is well equipped. You get a panoramic sunroof, a 17-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, built-in satellite navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, leather upholstery, and electric front seats with heat function. The luxury seat package also adds ventilation function to the front seats and heated outboard seats in the rear. But the full specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au if you want more info. SUV coupes aren't usually my jam, but when it comes to style and sexiness, this has it in spades. It's really athletic looking with its long lines and wide stance, and red calipers now come as standard. The update also sees a redesign of the front, which includes a new grille, HD matrix headlights, and a 2D badge design. Honestly, nothing has changed on the interior. Only die-hard fans are going to notice that there are new menu screens in the multimedia system. But this cabin is still showcasing what a luxury SUV should look like. Sumptuous, polished, and well built. Without looking too soft, it still has that classic Audi edge where it looks sporty inside. This front row offers lots of space and comfort, and it's an easy one to get in and out of. The front seats have firmer padding, but lots of adjustments, including extendable under thigh supports and those extra functions that I mentioned before. So for a longer journey, this is a very comfortable one to be in. The storage options are a little bit underwhelming because the glove box really shoulders most of the burden. You get a middle console that's large enough for a phone and a chapstick or a key, but other than that, there's just 4 drink holders up front and that's about it. The touchscreen multimedia system is logically laid out and the graphics look great. The haptic feedback didn't land with everyone in the family. My husband didn't like it because it made it harder to select things on a bumpy road. This gets wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto like I mentioned, and besides an initial lag sometimes with the CarPlay connecting, it was all pretty seamless to use. It also gets built-in sat-nav. Charging options are pretty good throughout the car. You get 2 USB-C ports per row. Up front, you also get a wireless charging pad, and in the rear, you get a 12-volt socket. The 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster looks really good. It can be a little bit annoying to try and customize or find information on it, but it does look good. I have a stack of room in this rear row, which is great, and taller individuals are going to be very happy back here. The wide door apertures make this a very easy row to get in and out of as well, but the doors themselves are quite heavy and they don't actually close properly. You have to really slam them shut, which annoyed me greatly this week. You do have the option though of adding for extra cost a soft closed door feature, and I would personally invest in that feature. The amenities and storage are pretty good in this row. You get directional air vents, climate control, those additional heat functions on the outboard seats, plus 4 drink holders and 2 netted mat pockets. The width of the seat though is really good because it will easily accommodate 3 adults side by side, which is excellent. The boot is well shaped, and I like that you have a 40-20-40 split on this back row because it opens up options, but it does have the lowest capacity available across the range because of the plug-in hybrid powertrain at 505 litres. It was still enough for my little family of three's need. It accommodated luggage on a road trip and a big grocery haul, so it wasn't too bad. I like too that you get a power tailgate in this model and an electric cargo cover. The Q8 60 TFSI is all-wheel drive and has a 3-litre V6 turbo-petrol plug-in hybrid powertrain for a combined power output of 360 kilowatts and 700 newton-meters of torque. The power output has increased by 20 kilowatts with the midlife refresh, and that shaves down the 0 to 100 kilometer sprint time to just 5 seconds. So yes, this is a powerful and quick SUV. This has an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is mostly smooth, and the switch between the petrol and electric components is also fairly smooth as well. As far as plug-in hybrids go, everything here works fairly well together. The midlife update sees a larger 25.9 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, and the electric driving range has improved by 27 kilometers, bringing the total to 74 kilometers overall. That still falls short of its rivals, but it definitely improves the usability of this powertrain, especially if you're just doing the odd errands or school run during the day. This has a Type 2 charging port, but like most plug-in hybrids, it lacks a CCS enhancement. So you can't plug this into a DC fast charger. On a 7.4 kilowatt AC charger, you can go from 0 to 100% in 3 hours and 45 minutes, but expect much longer, probably overnight, if you're jumping onto a standard plug port in the house. Audi throws in 3 chargers, including a 240 volt home charger, but you do have to pay extra for a wall-mounted box. The official combined fuel cycle figure is a low 1.8 litres per 100 kilometres. Real world, you're not really going to see that unless you charge it often, as in every day, every time you use it. My real world usage has popped out at 7.7 litres, and that's after doing a mix of open road and urban driving this week. I have charged it almost every day, but I would expect that efficiency to drop sharply on a longer journey. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that result. It's not as good as what I was expecting, but it's not terrible either. This has got plenty of power and kick, and it's pretty effortlessly delivered once you're up to speed. However, it did have a few little confused moments, especially when I was accelerating from a full stop where it felt like the lower gears weren't engaged immediately. And I did actually have a full-on bunny hop in it at one stage. This was short-lived though, and most of the time the power in this is beautiful. The adaptive air suspension makes this a very comfortable ride overall, and you're not going to really feel many of the bumps, which is great. Despite the big wheels, it's pretty quiet in this cabin around town. You do get a little bit of a low hum when you're going at higher speeds from the road, but other than that, it's very refined. I do miss having some of the engine thrums, because even when the electric battery is depleted, you don't really get any engine feedback in this. And again, yes, it adds to the overall refinement, but it sort of takes away some of the fun too. The high ride makes for a very comfortable driving position, and the visibility out of the wide windows is really good. Steering is pretty nimble and responsive most of the time. However, it is let down quite a lot by its massive 13.3 meter turning circle. To put that into perspective, an 8-seater people mover like the Kia Carnival only has an 11.8 meter turning circle. And my mum did have a little joke about this in a car park, that it was like trying to maneuver the Titanic. So what does that mean when it comes time to park it? Well, it means that until you get used to that big turning circle, it can feel a little bit clumsy to park this car at first. It does have a very clear 360-degree view camera system and multiple parking sensors, which is good. It also has a park assist feature, which under the right circumstances, the car will park itself, which is good. This Q8 variant is not rated with ANCAP because it doesn't fall underneath the 5-star rating that its siblings got in 2019. However, it does have a long list of safety features, including safe exit assist, which will delay your door from opening if it detects a car or cyclist. It also has 8 airbags, which include side chest airbags for the rear row. Usually you only see those on the front, but it does unfortunately miss out on front center airbags. All of the safety systems feel pretty well tuned from a driver's perspective, and the adaptive cruise control is particularly good. I do like that it has a pre-sense feature as well, which detects if you're approaching traffic at lights or a roundabout, and the car will start to slow down for you. Now, it is a little bit disconcerting to feel the brake pedal pull away from your foot, but outside of that, I still quite liked it. But the full safety specs are in my detailed written review at carsguide.com.au. Audi offers the Q8 with a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and this variant is also covered by an 8-year or up to 160,000 kilometre warranty for its battery, which are all pretty standard compared to its rivals. There's a standard 5-year servicing program for $3,570, and services are spaced at every 12 months or 15,000 kilometres, whichever occurs first. However, if you purchase the Audi Advantage package, you can add further coverage for 2 years on the warranty, roadside assistance and servicing, which is pretty darn good for this level. The improved power outputs and electric driving range are a big plus and really make the plug-in hybrid powertrain of this model make more sense. And that's why it gets the score that's on your screen now. But if you're after more details, check out my full written review at carsguide.com.au. I'll see you next week.